What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? I am Gray.
I'm Wolfman. How's everyone fucking doing tonight? We're gonna start the show off with some fuck bombs. Fuck.
Fuckity fuck. Fuckity fuck. Okay, that's weird. Remember when I told you that I couldn't hear Audacity, like the monitoring? Well, somehow I figured it out today, and now I can't shut it the fuck up. So, if you ever see me do this throughout the episode, it's because I don't want to hear myself. How's your week?
That's what the people tell us also in the comments. They don't want to hear you either.
I don't blame them.
Just kidding. No one says that.
Well, that was GrindHaus on 42nd Street. Make sure you join our page. No. So, how was your week?
You're not gonna do our spiels and stuff. Get it over with.
Well, we'll get there. We'll get there.
Do it in the beginning. Get it over with, and we can.
This is the beginning.
Yeah.
I had something set up. That's why I'm trying to wait till we get there. But you fucking ruined the illusion.
I'm ruining everything for you. That's what I do.
So,
week was terrible.
We've
it
been
sucked,
doing this
Gray.
now for a while.
It was horrible. How was your
Okay.
week? There you go. Is that better?
Yes, it is much better. I was actually hoping you'd say, it was all right. Because I was going to say,
it was all right, Gray.
I don't care. I don't care.
Has everyone turned the channel
We've been
off
doing
now?
this now for about, 5 months. We're on episode 21. And it seems to be like this nice little even flow, if you will. The audio portion's going well. Thank you to everyone who listens, whether it's Spotify, Anchor, Apple Podcast. My God, there's so many. And I just want to let everyone know who's listening and they don't interact with us on our social media or anything like that. We are going to be taking suggestions of the audio podcast platforms that we're going to stay on, because here in the near future, we are only going to be on a select few. It's just easier for us to keep track of. So let us know if there's a specific, app that you use and you want to continue to hear us on that app. Just, send us a message, GrindHaus on 42nd Street at gmail.com. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever, and just say, hey, I listened to you guys on this, and we'll make sure we stay on it for you. Obviously, if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, you need to go do that, like, right now. You're probably watching this video on YouTube, so just move your little mouse down near subscribe, hit that, and turn on notifications. And like everything we do, and send us like $1,000 each.
So you see the little mouse here floating around, and you go down, and there's that little red button, and you hit subscribe.
Ba-dum-bum. But most importantly, Patreon. Patreon's been good to us. We have a couple followers. Some of our closest fans, we see them and we talk to them quite often. It is its own little family. And then also it just happens to be like all of our Patreon supporters are in our Discord. And Discord's been going very well. I don't spend as much time on it as I should, but I see some of the conversations through notifications.
Yeah,
and
Discord's kind of like my home.
Yeah.
It's like you have the Slasher app, and I have Discord, because I don't really mess with Slasher. I'm sorry, I apologize. It's me personally. It's just there's so many. I don't mess with apps on phones. I'm a computer person. I don't have tablets.
Right.
I don't put stuff on my phone. I don't have Facebook on my phone, which I get shit from him about that. I don't have anything on my phone really.
It's like this.
Not saying the Slasher app is bad.
Facebook.
I don't want anyone to think that. Gray says it's very good, and I hear they're doing very good things with that. I just want to make sure
and
everyone's clear with that.
Damon's awesome, dude. He really is.
If you'd make a desktop app for me, I'd use the goddamn thing. That's all I'm saying.
Damon on the Slasher app just shared a picture of the desktop thing that they're working on. It looks awesome. But it's like Facebook is all of us. You, me, Gore. We're always updating and talking to people through Facebook. And then it's like you handle Discord, and I'm on Slasher, and I do the Instagram and the Twitter. Like those three are the ones that I usually
90% of the YouTube. You do about 10. You pop in there every once in a while, post something. Not very often. No, I'm not. You know, like, it's not a bad thing. I don't even go near Twitter.
It's out of series stuff.
I do no Twitter. I do no Instagram. That's all you. Like,
yep.
I don't.
It's when I put up something on YouTube, it's never going to be like podcast related. It's not, I'm not going to be the one posting an episode of the podcast.
And usually, if you do put stuff on YouTube, you're like, hey, can you go through it and just kind of fix it, mess with it, do whatever.
I need a thumbnail. I need a description. I need links. I need all that shit. I'm just going to put it up. You fix it.
Go do your magic.
But it's good because it's more uniform and people get used to it and stuff like that. Recently, I did put up a video on YouTube, and if you don't watch us on YouTube, it's something that we have to discuss just for a moment
I
here.
Didn't put a thumbnail on that because I didn't think it needed one.
Yeah, it's not a canon video.
I felt if I put a thumbnail on it, it would be kind of taking away. I don't know. I just felt weird about putting a thumbnail on that one. I don't know.
Well, to let everybody know who's listening, it was a serious topic. That is one of the reasons. Like, there's no links. There's no go like us, go subscribe. It's actually myself as who I am, Rob Cologne, and I'm speaking for Cliff, who is Wolfman, and Angie, who is Gore. To let you guys know, it's not coming from the people that we normally portray on here. It's coming from us as people, as we do. We are GrindHaus. We run everything. We own it. It's ours. In the past, we had done work with and promoted someone by the name of Justin Wayne, who did the Labor Day 7 short, and he was running an Indiegogo campaign for an actual Labor Day, independent film. And I did an interview with him, and I posted it on YouTube back in, what was it, like middle of May?
2 months ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
May 19th or so. And you had conversation for months before that, too, for a couple months. It took forever to get out because I was supposed to do an interview with you, but then I had doctor shit that I've been dealing with even to this day, all sorts of shit going on, so I wasn't able to do the interview. It was just easier for you to tackle it by yourself. It was just all sorts of shit going on. And
like
I
said,
released later. Yeah.
We were in contact with him. We were talking to him up until the point, I think, I want to say we actually recorded that interview about 10 or 12 days before it was even released. So we probably recorded it the first week of May.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, it came out in third week of June that Justin Wayne was...
Sometime in the second and third week,
Yeah, I think it was like the 18th or the 20th or something. That Justin Wayne was an online alias for the guy whose real name was, I believe, Justin Minoch. And at first, whoever commented on that video on YouTube with the link giving us that information, I want to thank you. Whoever you are, seriously, thank you very much.
Jose Gonzalez, maybe something along those lines. I forget.
Okay.
Yeah.
If
there was
no
avatar
you're watching this
picture.
video,
I don't know if it was like a pseudonym account that someone else set. You know what I mean? Because there was no picture there.
Yeah, we do get spam sometimes.
Not everyone has pictures on them. It actually went to the spam folder, which is why we didn't see it.
We didn't see it. Yeah.
A little cautious about clicking on links, so I Googled it. This came up a month after the interview was out, but it coincided with when Dead Central, I think like maybe it was like Bloody Horror,
Dread Central,
Dread Central. I think it was like Bloody Horror, and there's a couple other places ran this story,
So it was about the third week of June that it came out that Justin Minoch was using the online alias of Justin Wayne. And it's because Justin Minoch is a Tier 3 sex offender who was arrested multiple times and convicted multiple times, not just one incident.
What was it multiple? Everything I read it quick.
What was it?
I said it was multiple, right? Because I read it quick.
Yes, it was solicitation of a minor was his first offense, and he was supposed to get like a 5-year sentence, but 1 year served and like probation, house arrest. But then a year into his probation, he got popped again, and this was for having child pornography. That's what they actually had more on him, but that was the charge that he took. And he recently, as of 2018, was free and clear from those charges. Like, it was all said and done, but he is listed everywhere as a tier 3 sex offender. And we posted our video, and like I said, weeks before any of this came out. And then somebody shared a link on our YouTube video, which was the interview with him, and we didn't see it until like I think July 15th or so, just a few days ago.
Yeah, it was July 16th is when we saw it. It was a couple days ago. It was now July 20th as of recording this.
Yeah, and literally as soon as you found it,
it was a month after we dropped the interview, and like I said, we had done the interview almost 2 weeks prior.
Yeah.
It was like 10 days. You said 10 days.
And then, again, we didn't even see the link that was shared on our video until a month after.
So it was like 2 months that interview was up there.
Yep. And we want to apologize, even though it was physically impossible for us to know about this guy, because obviously sex offenders cannot change their names, but as an online alias, we would have never known his last name.
Or whatever, they can go by whatever. Like if you get actor credit, you can change
They just
your name.
legally cannot change their name, And so we want to apologize. Obviously, his Indiegogo campaign was taken away. And if you... we want to apologize for introducing this person to you, but even more so, if you donated to the Indiegogo campaign from learning about it through us, we feel terrible. Any video or mention on social media, anything with him in it, we have removed. It might be a little difficult
the
to
best
do
we can.
With our podcast.
Yeah, we didn't go through the podcast videos and edit them out and re-upload them. It's a lot of work for us to go through, and it sucks. That's why we wanted to apologize if some of that stuff is still in there and people run across it. Yep. It's just hard. We're a small operation. We do a lot.
Yeah. And we're growing quick, and we're not necessarily focusing on things that we've done in the last couple months. Basically, as soon as an episode's released and all of our social media platforms are updated with the new episode, we basically move on to the next thing. So we don't go back and revisit old episodes. So for us to have to go back through all that and try to re-edit everything out, we would probably miss a lot of stuff. And yeah, we just want to apologize. We actually,
if we do go back to some of those episodes, I will try to edit that stuff out, though.
Yes, I did say in our original Facebook video that I posted, if anyone comes across an episode where there is a mention or a shout out of them, let us know. Yeah. We'll make a note of it, and we'll take care of it. Absolutely.
Because we were thinking about splitting up some of our older episodes that are really long into shorter pieces. So if anyone knows of specific spots, if they've seen it, let us know. Give us a note, and I'll know where to go to try to cut it out. If we do that, end up, we have time.
Yeah,
we'll edit it out the best we can.
Now, when I posted the original video on Facebook, I actually linked a charity, a nonprofit organization, and it actually raised like $60, so that was pretty cool. And it was down. What was it? I'm sorry. I know it was a nonprofit organization that was out of Florida, and all they do is have resources for police departments to be able to track online predators and catch them. Like, that's literally all they do. If you go to our Facebook page and you check out our video, it is linked to the video. You can donate at any time. You know that it's going to a nice 501c3 that is doing good work. And again, before we move forward, we just want to apologize one last time. This will be the last time that we ever mention him or his work on this channel.
Yeah, I mean, we wish him the best. We don't want anyone to go harass him. Don't want anyone to go harm him. We just want to distance ourselves. We feel bad. You know, we don't have any ill will towards him. Just we want to go our own little way, our own ways.
Our personal views have nothing to do with how we operate as a channel. And obviously, we wouldn't expect any of you guys to be putting out your personal views in any kind of professional situation. But as GrindHaus, just spacing ourselves from it, I feel is the best way to move forward. And yeah, you know, whatever happens, happens. But we know on our end what we can control and what we put out, and we choose to only put out content for people who, you know, obviously deserve it. Like today, I actually did an interview with David Howard Thornton, the actor from the Terrifier movie who plays Art the Clown. And he will be playing Art the Clown in the upcoming sequel. And the third one that they're trying to work on, that interview will be released within the next couple weeks. So just keep an eye out for that.
Gray saving the day again because Gore and I were not available, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah. I was so looking forward to having you and Gore, because Gore's the one who turned me onto the movie. And I know you've seen all of them.
Yeah.
And you were interested. And it, you know, it sucks when I got to do it on my own. I'll do it because I want to give content for the fans. But our best interviews are when we're all together, you know. We had such a good time with.
Just uncontrollable shit happened today for me, and I had to bail out, unfortunately. So, but I'm here now to do this. It happens. At least.
Yeah. We'll always.
But at least we're not behind on this. It's not like we're skipping a day. It sucked. I had a missed interview earlier, but I'm here now. We're going through our normal recording routines. I'll be here for the live tomorrow. Obviously, it will already pass by the time anyone hears this.
Yeah, but that's okay. They know, you know, every other Tuesday. And if you go to our Facebook page, we usually make an event, so you can actually mark the event. And
just at it. So tomorrow, our next live, since our next one's going to be the 21st, which is tomorrow, but by the time anyone sees this or hears it, it'll be a couple days after. But the one after that following would be August 4th would be the next one. Okay. So if you're hearing this, August 4th would be our next live. And you want to jump in. Yeah.
Yeah. And actually, probably by August 4th, we are going to have some massive news that we're going to let everyone in on. We're working out the details right now. And that's all I can say about it. But definitely stay tuned. Yeah. It's something interesting for sure.
Hopefully in the next week or two, we have our Hump Day Horror Gaming streaming up and running. Still trying to finagle times for that. On Wednesdays.
Yeah.
Every Wednesday, we're doing game streaming on Facebook and then jumping over to Twitch after. Facebook's going to be the earlier crowd, and then it'll be like the late night on Twitch for anyone that stays up later for Wednesdays.
You told, what was it, Thursday you were on Twitch, on your personal one, right?
Well, yeah, Thursdays I'm doing a stream with Vintage. Originally we were doing it on Wednesdays, but then I changed it to wanting to do it on Thursdays with them because I wanted to do the horror thing on Wednesday. You know, I just thought Hump Day Horror was kind of fun for Wednesdays, you know.
Yeah. Makes the most sense.
Yeah. And he was cool about it, so I'll stream on Twitch with him on Thursdays, maybe some streaming on Fridays on Twitch, but Wednesday will be the Facebook day, and we'll see how long. I want to try to get on early, like 6 or 7 p.m. Eastern time.
Yeah,
and then we'll go till like 8 or 9 or 10, depending on how many people are in there. If we get a lot and people are staying, I'll stay on. I won't jump off. But
that's the thing.
The whole point is to get at least 2 hours. Whether there's people in there or not, I want to do about 2 hours on Facebook and then do 2 hours on Twitch, and hopefully we build a following and, the following snowballs and some people come over. And like I said, we do all sorts of things on the GrindHaus, but I know a lot of people like the horror gaming, and the horror movies, and, that's like a big thing with us. So
it's funny because like you said, you can start at 6, but if people start jumping in at 7:30, like a big enough crowd, there's
I might start a little later.
Always the possibility. Well, there's always the possibility that you just stay on till 10 or 11.
Yeah.
Because those people jumped in late and you guys are playing, having a good time.
Yeah.
So, at least 2 hours.
And I might have my friends might come
more.
join us on Wednesdays also too. It's not just going to be me, depending on, they'll come in. But we want to focus on horror games for Wednesdays. It'd be more tactical shooters and whatever we want to play. It might even be horror.
Thursday.
Like killing zombies or whatever on fucking bank robberies. With Payday we've been playing lately. So
yeah. So like Wednesday, just look forward to horror games. Thursday is like a wild card. Like anything's gonna go. You never know what you're gonna get. It's gonna
be mostly action gaming, but we might get some zombie killing in there or two.
I want to see more stick battle. Like absolutely, I want to see.
Stick fight the game. I just got to get some people to get it. I've been trying to push it lately with some people with Mazero. I've been trying to get them to pick it up and some other people. I think that would be fun, but.
So
the only problem with that is only 4 people with that group. They like to play in large groups, so it's kind of hard to.
Yeah. But you know what? If some people who play on a computer, play on Steam or whatever, if you check out, there's already a video on our Facebook page.
Actually, I'm going to cut you off. Next time you come over, we might be able to play with you on keyboard and mouse, and I can use a controller and might be able to play local co-op, and we can film that. We can stream that.
I have a USB controller, though.
No, I know, but I have my other controller. I have my Xbox controller.
Yeah, I know, but what I'm saying, so I don't have to use a mouse and keyboard because I'm fucking awful at mouse and keyboard?
Maybe that'll work, because I think you can do up to 4 people on there.
Oh, dude, 4 people would be chaos.
Well, I have other controller. I have other controllers we can plug in. I just don't know how many USB spots I have left open. That's the issue.
Yeah.
I have a splitter, but they're not always the greatest sometimes.
Yeah, not exactly the most reliable thing.
Yeah.
So
that's why I said mouse and keyboard, or I can give you the whatever. But yeah, there's a video like you're saying on Facebook of me and Chewy playing, and it's hilarious.
Oh, and it's gold. It's gold. Yeah.
It's like 45 minutes of just 1v1 battles. We went through the whole map, and there's something like 30 or 40 levels, maybe more.
Yeah.
We went through the whole thing.
Yeah, it was a lot of, but see, it doesn't feel like it. You're so focused on the action.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. You don't necessarily notice how many level changes there are and stuff like that.
2 out of every 3 in the long run.
Nice.
There was a couple streaks. There was a couple streaks where both of us got a couple in a row and whatnot. But when you boil it down, I think I won like 2 out of 3. It was about 66% win percentage. Yeah.
I'll probably suck at the beginning, but I'm sure I'll get a couple lucky wins.
I've only played it like twice, so it's not like I have a home field
2 more times than I have.
Yeah.
So that's all of our basic social media stuff. That is us covering the topic of why we had to be serious for a minute. And lastly, like I was saying, Patreon. There's many tiers of our Patreon group. You could even just donate one time if you want to donate to help the channel. Awesome, cool incentives. The Serial Killers Academy is Patreon exclusive. Early access to the Person of the Week. We have new episodes coming out, and we have a shit ton of shirts coming in. I got a good deal, so I ordered quite a few shirts for all of us. Cool new designs. They're going to be available on Teespring here very shortly. But if you sign up to our main pledge, our $20 a month Patreon pledge, you will receive one of those GrindHaus shirts. So, our shout out, obviously, Gabe, Ray, and Stacy, who just upped hers last week, is getting a shirt very soon. As soon as they come in, she'll have it. And I'm sure she'll take a picture and she'll troll some people while wearing it, because that's what Stacy does.
She does. Spends half her days in Facebook jail.
Yeah. Probably needs like 40 accounts just to keep up with it. So other than that, should we they saw the title of the podcast. They know what movie we're covering, but
The Green Inferno.
Yeah.
I just realized there was a "the" in there. I just thought it was always Green Inferno.
You know
Eli
what?
Eli Roth Green Inferno.
I thought when I looked at the DVD of it, I thought it just said Green Inferno, but the
real tiny.
on the yeah. Son of a bitch.
Yeah, because I'm looking at the IMDb page, and it says The Green Inferno in big letters on the top, and you look at the cover, it's real little. It's not even...
Yep. So, obviously, we know where I stand on this subject.
Well, if people are listeners, they know where you stand. But if you're just stumbling upon this video, you love cannibal movies. This is like one of your favorite cannibal movies, right? Am I not?
It's one of my favorite genres of horror.
Yeah, no, but this is one of your favorite cannibal movies in general too, though.
This one in particular,
it's good. You like this a lot.
Yeah, top 5.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? Top 3, because the other two, I have problems with them. But yeah, between Cannibal Holocaust, Cannibal Ferox, and Green Inferno.
Cannibal Holocaust is your favorite, right?
Yes, I'm actually rocking that one tonight. And Cannibal Ferox, good old Italian horror exploitation jungle movie. It's like Cannibal Holocaust light. Like it's gruesome, but it's not like how Cannibal Holocaust was.
I think it was filmed to be more comedic, though, wasn't it? Ferox,
yeah, it has its elements where it's way more lighthearted. Absolutely.
I don't mind these movies, but if you're a listener, I don't really care for cannibal movies per se. But like, it doesn't mean they're bad movies. I don't dislike watching. I'll watch them at least once.
Right.
But they don't.
But as a genre, they're not.
Yeah, they just don't. I don't go running to go watch them.
Yeah.
But I also watched this at the height of my. I don't give about shit about horror anymore.
Yeah.
Like I overall, like
you said this last week.
We give our little quick overall views into movies, and then we talk about like it's a good movie, production wise, cinematography put together, the effects, the cast, is pretty good, even though most of them aren't really known for much.
Right.
It's well written, directed. There's nothing. It's just the shock factor.
I think it's shot beautifully.
Yeah. No, it is. Yeah. It's just the shock factor of the way Eli makes movies just doesn't for me anymore. You know what I mean? I'm not like, it's so disgusting, I can't watch this. Like I don't know. I probably would laugh more at it than
if Eli was putting out these movies 30, 35 years ago, he would be upper echelon. But he's coming to the party very late, so a lot of people
he's
are
a
not.
Throwback. He's a throwback
he
director.
Is. And we're not breaking down Cannibal Holocaust. No. We might hit that in the future sometime, but the director of Cannibal Holocaust actually had to stand trial and prove that his actors were alive. Yeah. That's how controversial Cannibal Holocaust was. This movie never had any kind of. There was a little bit of controversy.
I mean, there are people out there that think this movie's real though to this day. I don't understand.
I don't.
People are dumb. They just are. I'm gonna be honest. Some people are dumb. I'm not saying any of our viewers, but some people are dumb. They just
dude. Everybody
obviously
knows
obviously if you're watching us, you're obviously very smart because you found us.
You've made at least one good decision in your life, and that is finding us. Us. Now, one of the reasons I love this genre is everyone thinks the idea is so off the wall for today. But I'm going to let you guys know something. There are still nearly 100 uncontacted tribes left in the world. And
it could be more than
some
that
of them,
for all we know in the Amazon.
They said at least 100.
Oh, well, that's just in the Amazon alone, though, isn't it? Never mind other places.
That is throughout the world, mostly Africa. New Guinea, Amazon. So this isn't a broad spectrum, but they're saying at least 100 that they don't even know about. Like, obviously there's tribes out there that haven't been contacted and we know about them and they're dangerous and this and that, but there's still some out there that we kind of know about.
There's that one off the coast of Africa. You're going to talk about it?
Yes.
Is that where you were going?
And this is where the madness comes in, because a lot of people might watch this movie and be like, oh, well, this is just Hollywood bullshit. There are still people to this day who are being killed when trying to interact with these tribes, and nothing happens. I'm going to let you guys know about the most recent one, which happened in 2018, literally just 2 years ago.
Probably not the one I'm thinking of then.
Okay.
The one I thought about, it's a little older, but I think it's off the coast of Africa. There's an island of a cannibal people live there, and the government will actually arrest you for trying to go to the island. They just like leave them alone.
Yeah.
Like they just do not go there. Someone tried to go there and with his Bible and blah 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 blah, and then they shot arrows at him, and I think one hit the book or something, and he left, and then he came back.
This is the story of this guy.
Yeah, but I thought this was like 1918 or like early, not like recent.
I mean, no, it happened a lot more 30 years ago, but I'm saying that legit just happened 2 years ago. An American man.
Way older than that. I didn't realize that. So I didn't think it was American either. I thought it was European.
His name is John Allen Cho, so he is of Asian descent, but he's an American.
I thought he was European. I don't know.
He was He was killed by an isolated tribe in the remote island. Wrote to his parents hours before his death. He wanted to declare Jesus to the tribe's people. Now, it's North Sentinel Island, which is between like Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, India, like literally right in the middle of that ocean, sea, whatever it is. Tiny little island. And like you said, the government, the local governments have said...
I'm all off of my info, apparently.
Well, there is a very dangerous tribe in Africa that was actually...
I thought it was off the coast. I thought it was off like...
It's considered Africa, but it's not connected to the mainland.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know exactly which one you're talking about, and there's confirmed American and European deaths connected to that. But I'm just talking about the most recent one, which is it's off limits to visitors without permission.
What is it? The Malaysian Indonesia is what, like something like 300,000 islands. It's something like ridiculous.
Yeah, this is one of those islands.
That's what I'm saying. There's just so many islands in that. It's like 100,000. It's something ridiculous. I may be way off with 300,000, but there's. You know what? I'm just gonna fucking.
No, there's literally. There's literally thousands of islands between Thailand, Malaysia, Indonesia. Now the tribe
Thailand's
that
its own country, but
right the tribes that they're talking about. Nearly 30,000-year-old tribe. Yeah. Like literally, that's about as old as human beings are. You know what I mean?
You know what I'm thinking? So there's 17,500 islands off of part of that's Indonesia. But if you count the Philippines, which has a ton of islands and all this, there's probably 100,000 islands in that area.
That's what between Malaysia, Indonesia, and then like the south end of Thailand, there's just all these micro islands. And you know, this guy John, he did go there, he escaped, and he went back. And he said the first day, he wrote down, "My name is John, I love you and Jesus loves you." He began to panic as he saw them string arrows to their bows, and he threw fish at them to like try to, I guess, like, no, I'm here in good faith. And he said he paddled like he never paddled before to get out of there as they started shooting. And he still went back the next day. They killed him. And here's the controversy. A lot of people want to go get his body. And the government said his body stays there. He was told to not go there. He was killed. If any of you guys go there to try getting his remains and you're killed, we're not sending people after you. And it's literally 2018 that all this happened. It's one of the reasons they kind of have...
I'm sure they ate his body anyway. It's not much to get.
Right. Honestly, yeah. What do you collect?
I mean, seriously. What's left? Seriously. I mean...
Yeah. Here, we made you a bracelet.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, thanks.
You got some toothpicks and maybe a headdress, a femur sword.
Yeah, some ear gauges.
Yeah, femur sword. Like, I mean, what do you know?
I mean, there's literally pictures of this tribe shooting at drones that are trying to take pictures, and they're like trying to, you know what I mean? And that's one of the reasons I like movies like this. Not because people die. No, it's not that. What I like about these movies is, although when you watch it, you're like, oh my God, it's unbelievable. This was not like this anywhere anymore. It still is. This can happen realistically to this day. Man. Sorry for that pause. I was just... Would you ever think about traveling to a remote island that had known...
I don't want to leave my house to go to the store. I don't even want to go to Wawa.
Yeah, but that's out of laziness. That's not out of like traveling the world. That's just like, nah, I ain't going.
No. I won't go to Wawa. Never mind fucking...
There's nothing on an island there for me.
Tropical, random, weird island.
I've seen coconuts before. I'm fine. I don't need to go. I don't need to try converting people to a religion that has nothing to do with... You know what I mean? I know Jesus said, go now and spread the word and bring people to the kingdom. Listen, if these people need to find Jesus, they'll find them on his own. Jesus will make himself appear to these people. Okay? Just don't go.
They can kill Jesus, he can rise again, and then they'll be saved, okay? They'll
that's it. Jesus. They'll witness it.
They'll find Jesus.
Now, this movie is a little bit different.
Or he's going to taste like chicken. One or the other.
Yeah, you never know. We'll talk about cannibals one day. So the thing about this movie it wasn't them trying to spread the word of Jesus. They were actually a group trying to go down to the rainforests to protect the tribespeople from losing their actual forest from like
it's a legit
people,
thing.
You know,
they're destroying. Was it hundreds of thousands? It's like
hundreds of thousands of acres
of
every
wild,
year.
Yeah, of Amazon wildlands, like every year, just cutting it down. So
yeah,
it's just so uncharted. There could be fucking cures for who knows what in there because of species and plant life and whatever, and they're just mowing through it like it's nothing.
A lot of American guitar companies no longer use mahogany unless it's recycled mahogany, because they don't want to take any more mahogany from the rainforest.
Is that where mahogany comes from?
Yeah, that's the original, like, yeah, fancy mahogany is a rainforest wood, just like I think it's called like Coca-Cola or whatever.
No, I'm sorry, I just think of Anchorman. It's like,
smells like rich mahogany. I'm friends with Merle
That's all that
Olsen,
was playing in my head, and I was trying not to laugh, but then I was like, so is that where it actually came from? And then
I have many leather-bound books, and my apartment smells of rich mahogany. So that was my little spiel about why I enjoy these jungle cannibal movies. And obviously there's way more than just a couple that I named. Matter of fact, I just picked one up. I've seen this one before. This is my CED of Slave of the Cannibal God. Haven't watched it yet because I knew we were doing this episode and I wanted to watch this. And then probably tonight when we wrap up, I'll probably pop that in and see what that's about. So
your chair just broke and you're holding on for dear life. your eyes like lit up like, oh fuck, I'm going down.
I have a fan under my desk, and I took the faceplate off because I was cleaning it. And I didn't put it back on. I just stuck my foot in it. Oh boy.
Well,
all right. So
people don't know, we have conversations about your chair. You're like, it squeaks. I hit a WD-40. I had to put the bolts. I'm just waiting for it to break one day midstream.
I got a new chair. Like as we're talking about it, look. I just got like a restaurant chair.
Oh, so you don't even have your computer chair anymore.
I got rid of the computer chair. I'm fucking tired of that.
See, people, I didn't even know that. He has just a regular fucking chair there now. I thought you were a little lower to the ground, actually.
I had to angle my camera down
because
a little bit.
You used to like start high, and then all of a sudden you'd sink throughout the podcast, and you constantly adjusted your chair. And yeah, it was just. I
told my mom the same thing. I said, if you watch our videos, I'll start up here, and within like 20 minutes, I'm like.
You have to get
and then I'm sitting down here.
Some books. Sit on top of that chair.
The only books I have are my Edgar Allan Poe's. I'm not fucking sitting on those.
Maybe you need to build yourself a little platform under it, but raise the chair up.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Just like a 2x4 platform with a piece of, Yeah,
even
four 2x4s and a piece of plywood over the top, and just make yourself a little, raise you up 3
What do they
inches.
call those things that they use for shipping? The fucking
a pallet.
Pallet. Yeah. Even a couple fucking pallets.
Well, if
I mean, I don't want to be like 10 feet in the air. I'm like, hey guys.
No. If you just find yourself some scrap plywood somewhere and get yourself a 2x4 or two. Mm-hmm. Just make yourself a nice little.
Or I just go get a computer desk that isn't a piece of shit.
A computer chair.
Yes.
You said desk.
I know. I caught it. So now that we talk a little bit about the genre of the cannibal jungle movie, why don't we move on to something that is probably more controversial to movie fans than actual cannibals in the jungle, and that is actor, writer, director, producer Eli Roth. Ah, boy. Are you a fan?
Yeah, I like his stuff. I mean, I wasn't trying to shit on him earlier when I said, like, he's a throwback and whatever. Like, I enjoy that he makes his movies the way he does. It's just, I don't always enjoy every movie he does, necessarily. Or, I don't enjoy it as much as, like, someone else's movie. I like all his movies he makes, for the most part. Just, I'm not, like, crazy. I'm not crazy about them. You know what I mean? Like,
what is the one movie of his that makes you say, for the most part? What is the movie that, like, you just don't like of his? Because I know which one it is for me.
Yeah, Hostel 2.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't... Hostel 1 even had a grow on me. Like, I wasn't even a huge fan of that when it came out.
Okay.
Like that had a grow on me a little bit. I kind of appreciated more of the art style of the way he shot it, and I turned into a little bit of a cinema snob with that movie and liked the little things he did, which made the movie grow on me a little bit. And I liked the pacing, the coloring, like how when the movie shifted, when you start looking at the girls' makeup, they started looking a little bit haggard. They weren't as pretty and dolled up, and I like the little subtleties, because I knew what it was. It was about shock and awe and gore, because like those movies weren't really a thing anymore, and he kind of brought back this genre again of the grindhouse shock, gore, and
Between Saw and Hostel coming out when they did, it was like the revamp
very
of
close
just the
to
crazy
each other
shit.
too. They weren't far apart. Yeah.
I think it was like a year, honestly.
Yeah, but Saw is different. Hostel was more of a grindhousey. Saw was more of a high-end production. No, high-end production of torture porn. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
but Hostel was more of a grindhouse type. And I actually enjoy the Saw films more than I do the Hostel films, but.
We've had this conversation, and I want to say it was like episode 1 or 2.
Yeah.
And I said, if I were to put the first 2 Hostel movies against the first 2 Saw movies, I would rather watch the Hostel movies. But as a complete series where Saw has so much more going on, it is better.
Oh no!
As a story,
I don't know. I think I like the first 2 movies better, just because the kills are way more entertaining and way more creative. I just like the creativity of it. It's not like it's got a better story per se. In the grand scheme of all of them put together, I guess it has a better story. Not I guess it does have in the grand scheme of it, but but the first one is better than Hostel 1 though. If you put 1 to 1 together, the second one of Saw is kind of, But they're close though. Hostel 1 has its charm because of the way it's shot.
It does.
But I mean, that fucking
I think
ending
Saw
for Saw
tips the scale though.
Yeah, that ending for Saw. It's what vaults it over. You know what I mean? That was such a I think everyone was. There's going to be a handful of people out there that did guess it, and the other handful of people that say that I knew it. They didn't fucking know it. They're just saying it just.
I knew it the whole time.
Yeah.
I knew it. Yeah. Fuck you. You didn't know shit.
Yeah. You didn't know shit. There's going to be a handful of people that did because they were really focused in on the movie, and they were like, "Oh, I see it," because they were like, "But I don't." But they may have known it, but did they enjoy the movie? Is my question. You know what I mean? Because they knew it. And it ruins the enjoyment.
But I don't even know how many people from their first time watching it could honestly say they knew the ending, how it was going to be.
No, but I'm saying that's what I'm saying. There's, I'm sure, a couple people. You know.
There
like
has to be. But...
I'm sure there's a few thousand people out there with the amount of people that's seen the movie that knew it. But like I said, those are people that were trying to pick apart the movie from the first frame, and you know what I mean. And because they did that. And they figured it out right away. Did they have fun watching the movie? They missed the whole fun of the movie, unfortunately, because they had to poke and figure it out. Yeah,
on the destination that they didn't enjoy the journey.
Yes, exactly.
I get it. I do.
So I'm glad I didn't figure it out because honestly, if I figure a movie out early, it takes away from everything else
leading up to it.
Yeah.
Eli Roth gets a lot of shit for being, as some people would say, all up on Quentin Tarantino's dick. They say that he tries to copy the worst part of what people don't like about Tarantino, which I don't think there's a lot that people don't like about. They like his writing, they like his directing.
People judge his vulgarness of words and the graphic nature of some of Quentin's things, even though Quentin's stuff isn't necessarily over the top, per se. Some stuff is.
It needs to be that way, though.
Yeah, no, it needs to be exactly the way it is. If it was more over the top, like Eli does his stuff, it wouldn't work. It's where it should be. People wish it was less, but then Eli takes it to a whole nother level. You know what I mean? And that's not necessarily a bad thing. You know, there's a place for gore in movies, and sometimes the more gore, the better. Dead Alive is one of them. You know what I mean? You want blood in that movie. You want,
Terrifier.
Terrifier, yeah. There's a ton of blood in that movie, especially when he cuts the girl in half. Just from vagina to head first.
Eli actually didn't really have too much in his early career, but the first movie he ever directed was Cabin Fever, which was 2002.
I'd have to go back and rewatch it, but I loved that movie, actually. I thought it was great. I had fun watching it. I laughed my ass off.
As a first-time, I want to say first-time director, even though he had a couple things before that. This was his first major motion picture.
That's what brought him to the
I think he did.
Yeah.
I think he did good, but I don't put this in the same realm as Hostel and Hostel 2 and The Green Inferno. I don't consider this like those.
This movie was pretty fucked up and gory in its own way, though. It has Eli's mark on it. No one else would have made this movie like that. He had some pretty intense scenes in that movie,
Oh yeah,
there's some good ones.
So, as a director, and we actually just found this out earlier, he also directed the remake of Death Wish with Bruce Willis.
I can't believe that went by both of us. As much as I'm a fan of the original Death Wish movies. You know what? You know why? Because I'm such a fan of the original, I didn't want to see the new ones. The remake. And I think I did end up watching it one night, 4 o'clock in the morning. Because I went through, because we brought up Death Wish, I'm going to talk about it. They were on HBO or Amazon or something, and I went one night and marathoned them. I watched all 5 in one night. I was up till 10 o'clock and the next day. I couldn't sleep one night. I was in the living room with, just watching everything, lounging with the doggo, and I watched all of them. And I think I watched the remake a week or two later. I think it was on Netflix or something.
Okay.
I forget. And then I watched, but it was again, it was late at night. It was 4. So I don't remember. I think I watched it, but I don't remember it if I did. I could just be so.
So it didn't leave the impression.
No, but I could be so death wished out, or I meant to and I didn't. And I fell asleep. I don't know, but yeah.
Or you saw maybe the first 10 minutes and felt
I might have fell asleep.
Now it's cool
like
though.
Jake said, yeah.
Because he's done some acting as well. Actually, he has 32 acting credits, and he's been in some pretty
before
big
you get
stuff.
into acting, I would like to bring up Knock Knock.
Well, hold on, because that's not directed. That was produced. I'm moving up to produce last because that's where. So after we talked to him as a director, as a writer. Basically, all of his big stuff that he's directed, he also wrote. Hostel 2 and Green Inferno. He did write Knock Knock. He produced it, but he didn't direct it. But as a
no, he did direct it. It's right there. I thought he directed it. 2015, he directed it.
I have miscellaneous open. I'm sorry. Hold on.
Okay, yeah, I thought he directed it. It was the movie right after Green Inferno. That's all. I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah, it was.
He did direct it.
13 and then 2-year break and then 15.
Yeah.
Okay. So
yeah,
as a director,
it's highly rated by a lot of people, and it's been in my queue of movies to watch forever. But I didn't realize he directed it. I just knew Keanu Reeves was in it. It has 2 of the girls from this movie in it also.
Yep.
Had one of the I think his co-writer on this movie, Green Inferno, helped write this one too, I think. And it's been one of those movies I've been told to watch. It's been highly recommended, and I got to check it out.
Yeah, but our watch list is so fucking long.
Yeah. Well, especially with me figuring out all these trashy, shitty movies on Amazon that you go search for when you're not looking for them.
The fucking rabbit hole, yeah.
The hidden mutant hunts of the world.
His first acting credit actually came in 1986 for the WWF's Grand Slams, and he plays Grand Wizard. Now I want to go online and find that, because he had to have been a kid when it was recorded.
Hold on. I'm sorry, I'm cutting you off again. This is important. His last credit here in pre-production for director, it says Borderlands.
Yes.
It's based off the video game that I so love, and I have thousands of hours between all the sequels. I saw
Borderlands. I thought it was going to be a video game. I had no idea, because there are directors of video games. I had no idea they're actually making that.
No idea that this was even a thing. I wonder if it's not a thing anymore. I wonder if it's ever going to go through with it.
Oh, because of COVID
and Gearbox has all sorts of issues with the head of Gearbox being who knows, releasing sorts of fucked up shit. But I don't know. But I'm kind of curious with the way Eli makes blood and stuff. This game is very bloody, but in a fun way. It's very funny. I think Quentin would do a better job, though, personally, because Quentin can write better. He's got a better wit.
But
I would like the hybrid. I would like someone else to write the screenplay and him direct and do the effects. That would be
kind of like what they did with Dust from Dawn. Having Rodriguez do the directing and
because that's not I don't think a Quentin movie, but it's written. Yeah.
Right, but I don't think Quentin would ever touch a video game-based screenplay.
I don't think so. No.
Now, what's cool is if you jump up to his actor credits. In 2000, he was in Citizen Toxie, The Toxic Avenger 4, as Beautiful Young Boy. Yeah. Obviously, I saw it here. It says Tales from the Crapper. Don't know what that is. But 2001 Maniacs, also on our watch list.
That was another thing. He was a producer for that, too.
Yes.
And I thought he had some sort of writing credit for that also. Which makes sense, because I own the movie and I recommended it to you, but then we found out it's sort of a remake, which I didn't know. Right. There's an older one from like the 70s or 60s or something, so we thought we were going to do a verse instead.
Put them together.
It's an actually really cool movie. It's a really fun movie. It's very bloody and fucked up, which it's right in the alleyway
right up our
of
alley.
The hostel. But but you can tell he had his fingers in something somewhere. With some of the kills, if you watch the movie, which you have to still, you can be like,
we have to cover it eventually.
Yeah, like I can see. Because I just looked again at the box today, out of curiosity, did I miss it? and his name is not anywhere on the box. You figure usually they would be like produced by Eli Roth or from Eli Roth
push
Productions,
him up.
And they push maybe on like newer boxes because he's a little more popular now. But that's an original box. It's a rental box
from 2005.
Yeah, from 2005 from Blockbuster.
Yeah, so Hostel just came out. Cabin was only a couple years old. He probably wasn't the Eli that we know now.
Yeah. Well, Hostel. I think technically this came out before Hostel, but yeah, it's the same year.
Same year. Yeah.
I think this went direct to video. Hostel actually went to
theaters.
Actually, movie theaters. Yeah. So he wasn't accredited yet. They didn't know it was going to be a big movie, so they're not going to throw his name all over the box yet. You know?
Right. Now, like you said, if they released it within the last couple of years, his name would probably be somewhere on the front. He was in Piranha 3D, Rock of Ages. He was in.
He gets
played,
a lot of cameos.
Frowny.
Of people that of that genre and just in general, just people that enjoy him.
Yeah, someone have him in there 5 minutes or so. He was Frowny the Clown in the 2014 movie Clown. But my favorite role of his is in, ironically, a Quentin Tarantino movie where he plays Sergeant Donnie Donowitz in Glorious Bastards. They call him the Jew Bear.
Is it Jew Bear or the Bear Jew?
Is it the Bear Jew?
It's the Bear Jew.
Jew Bear Jew Bear. Either way.
Yeah.
Part
either
bear,
way, yeah.
Part Jew.
Beats the shit out of people with a baseball bat.
With a baseball bat. Hell of a swing. And he's one of the guys that kills Hitler.
Yeah.
Awesome movie. Great role. And then, like you said earlier, under producer, he actually had, a lot of the stuff that he either acted in or wrote for, like The Man with the Iron Fist 2, The Last Exorcism 2, Man with the Iron Fist 1. So, he does a little bit of everything. I was actually trying to find more on that, on that Borderlands thing, but there's not much out there. We'll have to get back to that.
I'm just finding out about it now. I didn't know that was even in a thing. So yeah.
Yeah. He was a co-producer on that 2017 remake of Baywatch.
Hold on, what's that?
He was a co-producer on the 2017 remake of Baywatch. I would have never guessed. That's definitely not the type of movie,
I watched it, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I watched it. It was all right. Dude, The Rock is funny. I don't give a shit what people say. Zac Efron was pretty funny in that fucking movie.
I have a huge crush on the one girl in that.
I thought you were about to have a huge crush on Zac Efron.
He's a handsome man. I want to run my hand through his abs, but
I thought you were going to say run my hand through his ass.
I want a credit card swipe him. You know how it is.
Oh man.
Yeah, Alexandra Daddario or whatever. She's. Well.
Oh my God, yeah. So that's Eli in a nutshell, and like we said earlier, not many notable actors in this movie. Not saying they're bad, just not well known. Is there anyone in particular that you want to mention at all?
Not really. I mean, I feel bad not giving any of them mention. Maybe just give a list of their names. People can look them up if they want to. They've been in a lot of his own. They've been in Knock Knock. The list of shit. I just closed.
Like the shorts that he did and stuff
all
that.
A lot of the shorts of people related to the other. The guy the co-writer. If he's done something, they've been in that. You know what I mean? They've been in.
Right.
Yeah, they were in one of them's Aftershock, the one movie. I think someone might have been in Clown. They have other things in the work. Yeah, Knock Knock was one of them. I think someone might have been in the newer Cabin Fever. When you go through, I went through it earlier, and I'm just forgetting off the top of my head. It's not.
Yeah.
But they're good actors. I think they did a good job. I don't think they were shitty. I thought they should be given jobs. I think they're good enough. That's why I figured we'd at least give them a mention of their names. I feel like people should be hiring them for other roles.
And especially like, all right, like the main actress, Lorenza Izzo, she plays Justine. She has to go through a lot of shit in this movie.
Yeah, she was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood with Quentin. That was one of the others. I'm just remembering like as we talk. Yeah.
But I think she does a fantastic job in this role. Yeah, she deserves all the work that she gets. Other people are Ariel Levy. He was in like a lot of the Spanish stuff that we mentioned. Daryl Sabara. I didn't actually look at this guy's name. I feel a little bad.
I'll just take a peek.
Oh, it looks like that he was in Spy Kids 3, The Polar Express.
Lorenzo Izzo, she's in the new Penny Dreadful series. I guess I don't know if it's a spin-off, but they had the old Penny Dreadful. Was really good. She's in the new version. Yeah, Daryl Sabara. Okay. I'm just going to do a quick on here. He was in a bunch of Spy Kids movies. There's Machete.
Yep.
He's in the Polar Express.
Machete.
I mean, like I said, there are all these movies. Robert Rodriguez, Quentin Tarantino. They're used in that circle of friends a lot, you know.
As they should, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kirby Bliss Blanton. She's a hottie.
Yeah. All the girls are pretty attractive. There's.
Oh, yep. Sky Ferreira. And Magda. Aponowitz. That's a weird one. I apologize.
She was in Death Wish, Project X, some other stuff like. Yeah, it's just.
I kind of want to see this. I want to see this Aftershock movie because it seems like many people in this movie were also in that movie. So.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
I do want to mention there's one girl in this movie. It's her only movie credit, but she is on the IMDb. Her name is Tatiana Panafio, and she plays one of the indigenous tribe girls, like a little girl. But she's like the only one of them who has an IMDb. So I just wanted to toss her out there. Good for her.
She could be a tribe person, you know? Honestly.
Yeah.
Because
oh my God, absolutely.
There's a fun story about the tribe people actually we'll get into later.
Yep.
Well, she is a tribe person if you look at the picture. It's got to be.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. She played an indigenous tribe person in this movie. But she was a kid.
Well, she might be. Some of those people might actually be. They school them, so she might know English. She might. Right. She might go to a city here and there, then come back. We don't know. Like they do stuff like that. In the Amazon, you know, the missionaries will come in, school, set up schools.
Oh yeah.
Even though they have nefarious backings behind it to a certain extent. Motives.
Yeah.
But in the long run, they're doing good in a way.
Exactly.
They're helping the people, but they're pushing the.
A lot of these people do get.
You know.
They are, but a lot of these people get the benefits that they would never otherwise get. So you know what? Keep doing that.
And they're
work.
Also getting smallpox.
The last guy.
Too. No.
That's a given. That's a given. Hey, sorry, we got it. The last guy I do want to talk about is this Richard Berge guy. And the only reason I want to bring him up is because he plays Todd in Hostel Part 2. So he has like one of the earlier Eli Roth credits as far as the movie goes. And I believe Todd was the main character in that movie from looking at this guy. Like, obviously there's a few main villains or whatever. I think he's the asshole main guy. So, yeah, good for him.
I'm trying to remember, was Hostel 2 the one with the girl with the scissors to the scrotum, that guy?
Yes.
It might have been him.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she ended up being richer than he was, and the whole plot twist.
And then she ended up getting the tattoo. Yep. I mean, we could cover those Hostel movies at some point in the future. I'm sure we will. We have tons of movies we got to go through. Those were GrindHaus movies. Yeah. Obviously, we both like the first one better.
Yeah. I don't know if I want to go over the second one. I'd rather just go over the first. But it's something we have to talk about in the future.
I would like to cover the first one on the channel, and I'd like to do a GrindHaus gripe on the second one.
You should definitely do that.
Dude,
I'm sure you can figure out how it can be a lot better, yeah.
Oh my God, there's tons of wrong stuff with that fucking movie. Do we have any production notes about this movie? Obviously, you know, where was it filmed is like one of the main things. Well, it was filmed.
There's some trivia that goes to that. When we get into it, that talks about it more, a little in depth. But production wise, obviously, it was filmed in the rainforest. Well, actually, not obvious. I guess they could have tried to fake it, but it was legitimately filmed in the rainforest.
Yep.
It had a budget about $5 million. Nothing crazy, but for their budget, they're pretty good considering all the travel and whatnot. But it was hell on the actors and actresses. Like I said, we're going to get to some of that in a little bit. I know it's going to be a little bit longer because we're going to go over a good amount of trivia. There's some good stuff about this. An open weekend of 3.5 million-ish, according to IMDb. It grossed $7 million in the U.S. and worldwide 12.666.
All right.
12.666, 449.
Oh, come on.
It's just funnier. Yeah, it's just funnier. It was
12.6
million overall. So I mean, it made its money back. Technically, it didn't, blow the door off anyone's wallets.
Yeah,
but everyone got paid that made it. The studio isn't.
But like
running
you always
fat
say,
checks
though,
off it, but I don't think they promoted
like
very much for this movie, though.
No, this movie was not promoted well. But I would still suggest there was at least $1 to $2 million in promotion because I do remember seeing trailers for it.
I would say no more than $3 million on promotion, if that.
Right.
That was my guess.
So
they doubled their money
the
on
movie
that.
Probably only. Right. Yeah. They probably, but doubling their money off of 7 is not like 40, 50 million.
No, it was 5 estimated.
Right. So
it's even less than you were thinking.
Yeah.
That's why they did 12.6 overall. So I figured if they spent 2.6 on advertisement, that leaves them at 10 million, and they put roughly 5 in. They only made 5, so it's not really a huge investment for them.
Yeah, and compared to some of the movies that Eli Roth is producing, like as a producer, you're putting up money to make these movies, and some of the movies he produces, he makes way more money as a producer than he does as a director, writer.
They get those back-end percentage deals on the gross.
Oh, yeah. And, like, tons of marketing and stuff like that. Like, afterwards. Like, obviously, we're watching tonight's movie on Netflix.
Yeah.
Hold on. On the coffee table. All those movies, when you have them on a streaming service... they're paying you, either by a 6-month contract or a yearly contract.
Yeah.
And that's how a lot of these movies continue to make money, even if they didn't do well. It's kind of like when movies used to get released to the rentals. Like a lot of movies didn't do well in theater, like Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 didn't do well in theaters. But when it came out on rental and video, it made more than enough money to warrant more sequels,
I mean, I'm sure this did okay with rentals because renting was still sort of a thing. It wasn't 100% gone yet when this came out.
My copy that I have is actually a Redbox copy. I lost it and then I found it, so I paid $25 for my copy.
Yeah, and you don't even have a legit cover for it.
No, it sucks.
There is there is an altered version of this for Singapore, which is kind of random, but I guess it's kind of close to home in a way with that.
A little bit.
It was edited before it can be approved for release with an R21 rating. I guess that's one of they have a lot stricter. We're talking areas that will put you to death for having pot still.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can get put to death for smoking pot technically there, or trafficking or whatever it is. I think smoking maybe is just getting caned or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's some like ridiculous.
But having even minuscule amounts can put you away for a long time.
In a shithole you wouldn't imagine. But anyway, the distributor was made to remove an instance of strong graphic violence, which the board felt was gratuitous. The scene, which were the natives holding the man down and torture him by cracking open his skull, removing his tongue, limbs, and gouging at his eyes and severing his limbs. So that was cut out of the movie.
One of the best parts.
Yeah, without these cuts, the film would have been refused a classification, and I don't know how it is there, but I'm assuming without a classification, you get no distribution. It might not be able to
not
be
getting
viewed
released
at all. I don't know if we don't know how that works, but That's something that was flagged. Yeah. But apparently in the U.S., this movie was let up exactly the way it was, supposedly, according to Eli Roth. He put it in, and it got passed, and that really fucking irks me, considering some of the stuff that we hear that gets cut, and it depends on who's on the board. We were going to do an episode. We were talking about this before we went on air and we started recording.
We are going to cover the MPAA at some point.
Yeah, people understand what the hell goes on with that.
You got to think about how many movies that we know of today would have been so much different if the MPAA didn't stick their little fingers in it. The Friday the 13th franchise is one of those film series that from 6, 7, and even parts of 8, they really fucked up those movies with censoring and you know what I mean?
8 was censored, but I think that was more of they didn't have the budget to do what they wanted to. They kept getting their budget slashed, but 8 did have some censored shit too on top of
I think they said 6 and 7 were the two that were the most.
7 was the most. 6 was messed with a little bit, but 7 was the most. That's why people hate 7, because there's literally barely any blood in the whole movie. Everything's like cut short for the most part. There's barely anything. Like it was just. I think those movies were making so much money and pissing off all the fucking crazy, like, conservative people. So it was literally, they just had a vendetta against these movies. They really thought it was corrupting the
specifically Friday the 13th.
And honestly, you know what happened when you denied all those people? People like Eli Roth started making movies again. Like later on in life, they were just like, I'm mad they keep editing all the stuff I grew up on. I'm going to go out and make the most grotesque thing ever, and you see how that's gone. And I don't think it's done. You know, it's going to get out anyway. It's just I know, crazy times back then. Crazy times.
Yeah, we'll talk about it in more depth later on at some point. We did mention, or we didn't mention, but we kind of did. The film was criticized by a group called Survival International, which campaigns for indigenous people and indigenous peoples living in voluntary isolation as reinforcing colonialism and respectively neo-capitalism. What? That was their argument?
Yeah,
I just thought that they were...
we're going through that now with the crazy idiots out there in this world.
Right. I mean, I just thought this group was like... They didn't want the natives to get a bad rap, like they're all this, they're all that.
It is that later, if you keep reading, it is that too. But they were also concerned that we were forcing our ways on the natives and trying to change them and trying to take over the lands. And if we... So they were also worried that if we modernize some of these natives, it would move them off the lands, and we would come in, sweep in, and take the land from them. Right. And next thing you know, we'd be tearing it down, or who knows what. You know what I mean? It's just...
See,
it's crazy.
I could understand, like, if they wanted to argue the point of, like, these people are normal people, and you portray them in this certain light, and blah, blah, blah. But even at that point, these people who have very little interaction with other people... They don't give a shit what we think about them. Honest to God. Why is it that people are getting offended more than the people who they're trying to protect? You know what I mean?
I guess they feel like they don't know any better, but they're just a bunch of people that... I mean, they have the right idea to a certain extent. You want to look out for these people. You don't want to whatever. Right. But you're going too far with it.
That's the issue.
They weren't trying to...
You don't need to be making a big stink.
No. Just look out for their rights. Make sure they're not abusing their Hollywood power of them. Which Eli, I don't think he would. I don't know him personally, obviously, but
no, I don't.
He's that type of person. That. He's a smaller filmmaker. He's not a big Hollywood, Mongol
it's not like Harvey Weinstein's going down to the jungle and bringing back, or Epstein's going back to the jungle and bringing back, these young indigenous kids. Yeah.
So, man, when Eli Roth and his crew approached villagers to be extras in the film, he soon realized that they had never seen a movie and had no concept of what a movie was. So to demonstrate what a movie was, Eli brought a TV and a copy of Cannibal Holocaust from 1980 and had a screening for everyone. The villagers loved it and gladly acted in the film. Now, the best part of that was when the villagers were shown Cannibal Holocaust, since they never saw a movie before, they thought it was a comedy. They were laughing their asses off when people were murdering and eating. And
because they were probably watching it and they were like, hey, look, there's Uncle Jim. Oh, look at he's fucking stabbing her in the... Oh, boy. I wonder why Eli... Like, if you're trying to win people over and you want them to watch a movie and you want them to see what acting is, why the fuck would you show them Cannibal Holocaust?
Because I think it's similar to what they were trying to make. So he wanted to show an example.
I get it.
But at the same time, I also think he was doing it to be funny to himself. Like, I'm going to show these fucking people Cannibal Holocaust. This is going to be hilarious. Like,
I mean, it's something we would do. It's something that we would do. But, like, if you're trying to show them the concept of a movie, show them, like, Titanic or Terminator 2. Or, no, don't show them Terminator 2 because they might think that's what the world's like outside the jungle. But, you know, show them, like, this big budget epic. Not fucking turtle wax and, you know. Jesus Christ.
So
good on you, Eli.
So not a Michael Bay movie is what you're saying? You said
definitely
wax,
don't show them Transformers or
Ninja Turtles. Michael Bay's Ninja Turtle-ized in this. I'm
so glad they laughed.
Yeah. Eli Roth disclosed that the tribe offered a 2-year-old child to the production designer as a thank you for including them in the film. The production designer politely declined the offer.
Was the production designer Jeffrey Epstein?
So here we get into part of the next one. So it's Eli Roth would only audition actors who agreed to be vaccinated for yellow fever, because you know they'll have the anti-vaxxers, and to film deep in the Amazonian jungle with no bathrooms, surrounded by tarantulas, snakes, and poisonous frogs that could kill you on contact. After filming was completed, the cast and crew were treated for parasites because they all got something in there.
So this is like the most... Well, no, it is. But it is the most recent, most legit actual cannibal jungle movie. Because even the later cannibal jungle movies, they were filmed in like Central America. They weren't going to the Amazon. They were just looking in wooded areas. It was like, the cannibal women of the avocado jungle of death.
Yeah, and they were filmed in California.
Fucking like, Beverly Hills. Yeah.
Santa Barbara or whatever it was. Yeah. And Berkeley. But
yeah, exactly.
But the thing about this is it's super risky. Like these people, I don't think they realize how risky they put their life in, because there's people getting stuff in these jungles and in the Amazon that they don't have cures for, and they don't even know what it is anymore. Just for example, so I bring it up all the time, but it's interesting because you learn so much. There's a Bellator fighter named Justin Wren, and he goes and builds wells for the pygmy people out in the Amazon. And the pygmies are super hated upon. There's like little tribe people. They're literally little. That's why they're the pygmy. Mm-hmm. They're like considered they're like the white trash ghetto of the Amazon. Basically, they were looked down by all the other.
They're basically the Alabama of the rainforest.
Yeah, something along those lines. Yeah, they just, no offense to anyone in Alabama, but
actually, I love Alabama. I'm just saying
more like the Arkansas, I think. I mean,
Alabama, hey, no offense to anybody in Alabama, but fuck Arkansas.
Yeah, fuck Arkansas, man. I mean, what comes out of Arkansas? Like, Alabama at least has like a couple colleges.
They don't even know how to pronounce their name. It's Arkansas.
Arkansas. God. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, so he's actually got malaria 3 times and cured. He's had other stuff, but now he has some sort of parasite. They don't know what it is, and he can't fight. He's like all the shit. They think it might be like some sort of brain parasite on top of it.
Jesus Christ.
He's been going through testing for like a year and a half now. Like all sorts of. He's been sick on and off. He's been trying to get his like fighting back, but like so he could fucking die and not like, and he could be spreading this shit for all like. I'm surprised he's not under quarantine. Like, you know, the government's got him locked away in some little room doing tests on him because no one knows what it is. And I'm sure he's been to all the fanciest doctors because he fights for Bellator. He's friends with Joe Rogan. This is how we find out this stuff because he's been on his podcast a million times to raise money, you know, for them to build these wells because people don't know what it's like to have clean, fresh water. Or, I mean, I guess they have fresh water, but you know what I mean? Like, they would literally have to walk miles.
Clean drinking water.
Yeah, they would have to walk miles to the river, and then you could be parasitic water, whatever, like, you know, so. Anyway, so you don't.
That's why those life straws are incredible.
Yeah. These people, they just have no idea.
Every one of these people who worked on this movie could have been in that same situation at any time.
There was one Peruvian crew set that were filming. They left after one day because the temperatures reached up to 110 degrees. 110 degrees, easy. Yeah. And they were like, all right, fuck this, we're out.
110 degrees with like 100% humidity because of
it's not
fucking
like Arizona.
rainforest.
Yeah, it's not like Arizona heat where it can be 115 and it's only like our 80 degrees with 100% humidity or 85 with 100%. Yep. You know, it's like different. Not that that's fucking cool because that sucks too. Don't get me wrong. Almost every villager signed up to be in the film. Some of them were even part of the crew, which is pretty cool. I'm sure they taught them jobs, taught them how to, you know, be boom holders or
holding the cables
cables. Yeah, which is pretty cool.
I want to read the next one. I want to read the next one. Christian missionaries sang religious songs on their boats as they arrived at the village. They weren't aware that the movie was being filmed at the village and became alarmed when they saw the gory props, including skeletons and dead bodies impaled on stakes. They sang louder until they were told about the movie being filmed.
You figured they would turn around. You figured they would turn around, but no. They decided Jesus is going to protect me. That magic man in the sky that I can't see is going to protect me from these crazy villagers that have dead bodies that are on stakes and whatever. Let's just sing a little louder.
Could you imagine being a first-time missionary? Because a lot of these kids, 18, 19, that's when they finally get to go.
From Arkansas.
It's like their first one. And everyone's telling them, no, it's a great thing. You go. And as the boat pulls up and they're singing, they just start seeing dead bodies and skeletons. And they're like, all right, we just got to sing a little louder. If I was that first timer, I'm jumping off the boat and swimming away.
Well, if you jump off the boat and try to swim away, you're going to get eaten by a crocodile, though, probably.
I would take that. If I saw a fucking body impaled through the ass with a stake, feed me to the crocodiles.
I think you're probably better. Well, they're going to hunt you down in the woods. They know the woods better than you do. You're better off staying on the boat, kicking the other people off, and trying to go back down the other way. Or waiting for them to get off.
Everyone gets off the boat.
And you're like, I'm out of here. See ya. You could be crazy.
Oh, shit.
Assholes.
I forgot. Yeah. I forgot my wallet. I'll be back. Just take off.
I forgot my cross. I'll be right back.
God, why are they so fucking...
I don't know. They're fucking crazy. Yeah, it's a whole nother... According to the film's trailer, the Peruvian jungle natives who appear in the movie had never been filmed or photographed by any Westerners before. Doesn't mean they weren't filmed or photographed by Easterners, though. It says Westerners. There's a difference.
There is, but it's bullshit. It was just something that they put in the trailer. Many people, many documentary crews have been to Peru and, have done filming of natives and shit like that.
The film received a glowing response from the horror novelist Stephen King, who tweeted that the film is like a glorious throwback to the drive-in movies of my youth. Bloody, gripping, hard to watch, but you can't look away.
But right on the fucking head.
Children from the tribe went up to Eli Roth and said that they had an idea for the film. He asked what it was, and the kids pulled out a baby boa, a snake, for anyone that wants to know what we're talking about. They thought it'd be funny if it was in the cage with the actress. Eli loved the idea, so he decided to have the kids dangle the snake in their faces. When they went to do it, the kids really got into it, and it appears as if the actresses were really being slapped with the snake.
They probably were.
Yeah, I'm sure these kids don't understand acting as much, and we're really kind of maybe putting some people's lives in danger a little bit, possibly.
They were probably hitting it like the fucking Jackass crew. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, let's just get it on tape, whatever.
While the whole cast suffered from bug bites, Kirby Bliss Blanton, she had to be hospitalized at one point in time from the rainforest. That sucks. That's what I'm saying. These people
that's scary.
Really had.
Now the next one, of course, the film's links to Cannibal Holocaust are numerous. In addition to being one of Roth's favorite horror films, and the one that inspired his directing career, The Green Inferno was actually the working title, this is true, of Ruggiero Deodato used for making that movie. Some people say Ruggiero, or some people say Ruggiero. I think I usually say Ruggiero, but everyone just calls him Deodato. It was changed to something more bluntly descriptive and shocking, particularly with the term Holocaust, which is true.
Yeah.
Now, there's also one called Jungle Holocaust, and then there's Cannibal Ferox. And basically, if you put those two movies together, it's like a close depiction of Cannibal Holocaust. Like was said earlier, Ferox is a little bit more comedy-based. Like, it has more comedic moments. Jungle Holocaust is a little bit more... They aim for the shock more.
Yeah, so, now in those older movies, especially the GrindHaus stuff, there's a lot of stock footage being used with a lot of movies. So this is one of the few cannibal, especially a cannibal. There were other movies that did stuff too, but cannibal horror films not to feature any depiction of violence against animals. Because, granted, the one actually did film the slaughtering of a turtle.
The Cannibal Holocaust.
But there was others, and that one also did use stock footage of animals killing other animals and people killing animals that were hunting them for, from like documentaries and stuff. But
right. Yeah. And when you watch something like, let's just say Jungle Holocaust, when they show a footage of an animal being killed, it's never more than like a half a second or a second at a time, and it cuts back. So they don't want you to know it's stock footage from something else. And that's why Cannibal Holocaust kind of caught the shit it did, because the scene with the turtle is a very specific scene in that movie, shot for that movie, where they actually did kill a turtle. If that happened today, you'd have so many people up in arms banning this movie, and I mean,
they were filming in a jungle. I'm sure the natives did something with that turtle. I'm sure it wasn't in total.
Oh, absolutely.
Total waste. But I get the whole point. You don't want to kill any animals for the making of a movie.
Entertainment purpose.
I wouldn't want to either.
Right.
I'm just saying. But I'm sure it didn't go. Since it was done, I'm sure it didn't go to waste. Though, is what I'm saying. I'm sure they.
Yeah, they probably ate the shit out of it.
But just in general, I'm sure there's uses for a giant turtle shell, because it wasn't like a small turtle. It was pretty big.
No, it was a massive, like a 3-foot turtle. It was big. When the film was shown at the Deauville American Film Festival in France, a member of the audience fainted. I wonder what scene it was.
The dismemberment and the skull cracking, probably. It's probably one of the most brutal scenes in the movie.
Yeah. Also, the checking of the virginity is kind of graphic for some people. So,
yeah.
We'll get to it.
You want to read the next one? It's like right up your alley.
Well, with the group of movies.
Yeah, the trilogy mentioned with Roth.
Yeah. The third and final film of Eli Roth's trilogy, entitled Travel and Punishment, of unrelated horror films, beginning with Cabin Fever, which was 2002, we mentioned, continuing with Hostel 1 and 2, which, like you said earlier, he actually meant to be like Kill Bill 1 and 2, like a full-length feature as you watch them back-to-back, but I don't think that it was written that way. Yeah. And concluding with The Green Inferno from 2013. So basically, if you see a box set in the near future, it's going to be his movies, it'll be these 4.
It's kind of weird. In Spain, the film wasn't released until 2016 with a limited release of 5 copies, 4 theaters, and also was a screening in Phantom Film Festival. So that was the 5 copies that was given out, and was watched by 114 viewers. Only was projected in the subtitle version also, so it wasn't in Spanish.
Okay.
Yeah, but I feel like in Spain they also speak English anyway. They understood it.
Right. Yeah. The film's moral decline is inspired by the degraded descent of the protagonists of Deodato's Cannibal Holocaust, whereas the violence and karmic playout owes to the less controversial Cannibal Ferox for the inspiration. So the brutalness is of Cannibal Holocaust, but the lesser lighter notes are from Cannibal Ferox, which is 2 good movies to, if you're making a jungle movie, obviously you want to reference. So it's probably one of the reasons I actually like this movie like very much, is because they're taking 2 of my favorite cannibal horror movies and they made this from the,
Yeah, so Eli Roth, like his renowned film writer, director, companion Quentin Tarantino, writes and directs films that in themselves are love notes to other films. Roth, however, particularly boasting a filmography of horror films. Roth's Cabin Fever from 2002 is an ode to Sam Raimi's Evil Dead from 1981. I didn't get that when I first read this earlier today, but then I sort of get it because I guess it takes place in the cabin the whole time, where so does that. But I don't see it as an ode to that film. That's it. I don't understand how you can, I don't know. It's very loosely. It's a very loose. I don't agree with that one.
The afterlife with demons and things like that is completely different than what they went through in that. Yeah.
And John Boorman's Deliverance from 1972, but I don't see that either. I don't know who wrote this. That's the reason why I'm bringing this up, is because it was a good discussion piece for a second. I don't get it.
Yeah. Okay, so if you're taking away one specific scene from Deliverance and not looking at it as an entire movie, then maybe you can tie Hostel 1 and 2.
What scene,
where 2 guys, they go camping and they get lost and this and that, and they end up in an area where they're not welcome, whatever. But that movie as a whole...
But they don't get lost, though, in Evil Dead.
No, they're talking... No, they're not talking about Evil Dead. They're talking about Hostel 1 and 2 are like Deliverance.
It says Roth's Cabin Fever is an ode to Sam Raimi's Evil Dead and John Boorman's Deliverance in 1972. Then it says, Hostel 1, and they're talking about Evil Dead.
What?
That's what I'm saying. We gotta read it properly. That's why I stopped there.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
No, because I thought that's such an asinine comment. I would have never thought, because I can kind of make the connection with Hostel 1 and 2 and Deliverance.
That's why I brought this up. The next comparison, because they list the movie first, and then they go into the comparisons afterwards. So they don't mention Hostel 1 yet. It's got to pick this sentence apart properly. So Hostel 1 and Hostel 2 were an ode to Juan Lopez Montezuma's, I don't know, House of Madness, and Alan Griblett's Eden and After 19. I've never seen either one of them, so I don't know.
Yeah,
but
not
but
familiar.
I'm see that's what I'm saying. So I don't know how you get Deliverance with Evil Dead. I don't.
Not even the slightest.
Not even the slightest.
And
I don't get it.
Me stretching Hostel 1 and 2 being tied to Deliverance is still more of a comparison than Evil Dead.
But they don't even
to
get
Deliverance.
lost in Hostel 1 or 2. They're just visiting a city.
No, but they end up in an area. That they're not familiar with, because they're in Europe, and a part of Europe they're not familiar with.
Not really.
That's literally the only thing I'm able to tie it to.
They get taken there by the girls. It's not like they went.
Yeah, but they get taken there, but they don't know where it is. They're not familiar with the area.
Yeah, but where in Cabin Fever were they unwelcomed and wanted and brought?
I was comparing it to Deliverance. That's what I'm saying. My connection of Hostel 1 and 2 to that part of Deliverance
that's
makes more sense.
I still doesn't make sense to me, though. I don't...
No, but Evil Dead, there's absolutely zero connection. That's what I'm saying. I don't get...
No, but even if you were to compare it to Hostel 1 and 2, I still don't see it, because they didn't go anywhere they didn't want to go because they were brought there by women. They were eventually kidnapped and brought somewhere they weren't, you know what I mean? But they didn't...
But they were in an environment that they were not familiar with. Like, that's literally the only thing it's grasping at straws.
It's like a huge... I don't know. A huge grasp. I get it, yeah.
But compared to Evil Dead, where there's literally zero... Okay, the woods. Okay, there's your connection. There's trees.
There's woods. Yeah, and then, obviously...
Can I downvote this?
Obviously, the Green Inferno is, Cannibal Holocaust. And
Cannibal Holocaust. Cannibal Ferox, yeah.
But I wanted to know your reaction to that first one. It's the whole reason why I read that one.
I am livid, and I'm trying to find a way to leave a comment.
I don't
22 of 28 people found this interesting? Interesting. No.
Well, you can't, because you got to sign in to IMDb otherwise.
Fuck it, I'll sign in. I really want to let this motherfucker know I did not find this interesting.
Find this interesting. All the main actors, for the most part, and actresses, all previously appeared in Aftershock from 2012, which was starred and co-written by Eli Roth. Went over that.
Talked about that.
It was originally set for an October 29th, 2015 release in the Netherlands, but was pulled from a schedule due to the company's bankruptcy in September 2015. The film switched distributors and was eventually released in November 5th by Remain in Light. I wonder, I'm assuming the Netherlands isn't like a huge hotspot for these movies. Maybe it is. I don't know. But I'm assuming they gave that company money for, you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden they went under. So I wonder if they lost money from that because they went in bankruptcy. I wonder if they ever got their money back. Out of curiosity,
I'm sure there was some sort of protection plan in the works or the wording. I'm sure of it.
That's just I'm surprised they didn't know sooner, considering they went under like a month before. Like how soon could they have set that up? They had to know that wasn't doing very well. So one of the
but some of these companies think.
Yeah, no good.
I would say some of these companies think when they get a hold of a project that they're gonna, this is gonna be the thing that pulls us up out of the,
I guess. I don't know. Yeah. I'm saying, look, why? I'm sure that I would have hoped Eli and co would have did more research on that company and realized that they weren't doing so well. Is what I was getting at.
Right.
That's what I meant. Not that company. Yeah, that company's like, this is the one that's gonna get us out. I'm sure they put on a great song and dance, but I would have thought, it would have been more evident.
Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was the distribution company that chose it, and they're the ones.
That's what I mean by that. Eli and Company, because he's a producer on here, they have control of, I'm sure, distribution, whatever. Someone dropped the ball. It seems. I wonder how much money they lost.
That's sad.
I'm just curious because it didn't make a lot of money as it is. So any money lost is an issue.
A major hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn. One of the motor carts taken by the students was named Brad Pitt. Writer and director Eli Roth co-starred Brad Pitt in the film *Inglourious Bastards*. I don't know if I ever noticed that. Maybe I did. Yeah, I just didn't.
Yeah, I had no clue.
Yeah.
We mentioned this earlier that the actresses that appear in this movie are also in Eli Roth's Knock Knock.
Yeah, they were just talking about that there. There's a couple I wanted to skip over here. They weren't really. Yeah, I don't care about her.
Yeah,
tattoos.
Talking about the tattoos.
Yeah,
and then we get to spoiler territory, which we don't really want to get into right now.
Well, we kind of went over stuff that would be considered spoilers, and a couple of things like the chopping up scene or whatever. But
but just not the ending, basically.
No, no, I don't want to. That they don't actually talk about that. There's not much in here, but there are a few things that are pretty good. Like Lorenza Izzo nearly drowned in one of the scenes where she was in the river. They didn't realize she was screaming for help for real, and then one of the production crew realized
it was those damn kids. Yeah. Hey, we got another idea for a movie. Let's throw this woman in the river. And Eli's like, "You kids are the cutest. Let's do it."
There's a body count of 33, 9 off screen.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was that high. So, despite the film's plot and adherence to previous Italian classics of the subgenre, there are only 2 on-screen deaths dealt by the film's antagonistic tribe.
Yeah.
Which involve cannibalism. I'm not going to say who. I don't want to, you know what I mean? I'm just...
Nope.
That's why I'm picking what I say on here. I'm rewording some of this stuff, but you get the point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to talk
Yeah, that
about
was
this
big in the
stuff.
Italian jungle cannibal movies, was make sure you got that on film, that people were getting eaten, for sure.
So this, like a lot of Eli's films, the characters don't arrive in the Amazon jungle village for about 45 minutes until 45 minutes into the movie. He does try to set up a lot with writing and clever filming and stuff like that, but he is no Quentin Tarantino, unfortunately, so it doesn't always work all the time. This isn't
From Dusk Till Dawn. Yeah. Okay, this isn't set up before 45 minutes and vampires. Okay, this is a little bit of a slower ride.
I think that's all I really want to talk about here.
It's funny that last week's episode was From Dusk Till Dawn, which was Tarantino and Rodriguez, and then our next movie was a guy who's had similar comparisons to Tarantino and has done work with him a few times. I just think it's funny how that worked out. Ooh. Yeah, I'm trying to read some of these without ruining it, but there's a few in here that...
There's nothing really... Yeah, there's nothing else worth talking about in here. I read the first couple here, and then I got distracted by other things earlier. I didn't read the last couple, and they're longer, but there's nothing really worth... I don't find it that interesting, which is why they're at the bottom. They're not that interesting.
Right, exactly.
4 of 17, 4 of 17, 12 of 22. Yeah, they're just not... And that would make 2 more not interested of us, so, I mean...
Exactly.
But that basically covers Green Inferno of our introduction and podcast part, I think. Do you have anything else you want to... This is a little longer than some of the other ones, but...
we had a few things we had to discuss.
It took us 45 minutes to get into the movie and other things because we had a bunch of other stuff to get onto, which is convenient because we had 45 minutes before they get to the jungle in this one. This is why I'm bringing it up. Otherwise, I wouldn't be.
We had to do some character building of our own before reaching our destination.
You got some sidetrackedness and whatnot, but yeah. So.
But yeah, other than that, I do want to say with Gore having a new career and her work schedule being as crazy as it is, we may find a different spot for the pick of the week, only for comparison of when I receive them from her and when we record. So I might have to talk to her about when we're going to do it. It may be Facebook exclusive. I may wait till next week's episode to get this week's recording on there, and then she'll just be a week ahead. So I don't want to say this is the pick of the week if I have this edited and out before I get it, but make sure you go to our Facebook page for more of the Gore. And she's
gonna have other videos
of the week up there.
Yeah, she's gonna have other videos.
Oh my God, she's got makeup tutorial, like special effects stuff. She's all over the place. So definitely go show some love to Gore. I keep telling him
he's got to get it on YouTube or get me some files, and he's slacking.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to save up on some stuff to make a compilation video.
Yeah, but I'd rather just personally, I'd rather just put them out there as single videos, so they're nice and short, not too long. People just the clicks and the views and traffic, and they have things on the back.
We've talked about this before because the podcast is so long that we're introducing some shorter stuff on YouTube. We talked about chopping up some of the podcasts and making them shorter. Obviously, the GrindHaus gripes are going to be shorter, but even like these 3 to 5 minute segments with Gore or whatever, or even you said possibly reviewing some movies that weren't necessarily going to be covered in GrindHaus.
Yeah, because I watch a lot of these movies like Mutant Hunt that end up being stinkers, and I can probably cover a review on my own if I get off my lazy ass and in a good 20 minutes or less, and it'd be fun and entertaining.
I agree.
Well, it's not lazy. You know, it is, but isn't. I have so much other stuff I'm doing with gaming and trying to make gaming videos and our possible big news coming up. I might have to do a bunch of editing, and then there's some editing of we want to make smaller versions of chop up our videos. It's just a lot on the table, and
it's not something that you're going to see within the next week or two, but it's something that we've planned for in the future. I have half a
potato of a computer. It needs some new parts, and without money,
I like potatoes.
It takes forever to edit some of these videos, unfortunately, which I don't have.
You know what? Speaking of which, hey, Da Vinci, if you're listening to this, can you do us a fucking favor and not be an asshole?
Your Da Vinci 16 is amazing, your Da Vinci Resolve, but it crashes all the fucking time in the middle of me editing stuff when it's like, you know, longer videos, and it drives me absolutely up the wall. It makes me not want to work on it anymore during the week.
Especially when you've worked on something for hours and it's almost finished.
Luckily,
crashes.
They know better, and this shit saves like every couple minutes. There is a save feature, but it's not the point. It's turning it off, reloading it, make sure it's not running in the background, and rebooting, and your shit doesn't turn off by even when I turn it off, it still runs in the background and fucks up my computer. Fix your shit.
So Da Vinci,
make great products.
If you're listening,
they just came out with a fucking 8K camera now too, or something like that, or 14K or something ridiculous, because it's made by Blackmagic. Did you see that thing?
Yeah,
it's $10,000. $10,000. It does 4K at 100 or 220 frames and 8K.
240.
No, it said 220, and it said the 8K was at 110.
So all right, so they're not doing the industry standard, because it's 120 and 240.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Is your standard, but Blackmagic and Red are two camera companies. They don't fuck with like DSLR cameras. They make cinema quality cameras, and if I could have a Blackmagic or a Red, I'd be using it every fucking day. I mean, I use my camera every day. I have a Canon
M50. You might rub a stick on it too much, and it would break.
But that's the thing. Knowing that Da Vinci is a Blackmagic product kind of keeps me away from their cameras, because I don't want to have to fuck with any of this dumb shit when using it.
I've actually never heard anything about their cameras. I think it's just the fucking programming of Da Vinci, personally. But like we said, we talked about it. We used a free thing.
It's free.
Because the paid one is like $400, which we don't have either. So.
But professional movie studios use Da Vinci. Yes. So the fact that they actually give it to people for free is very
amazing.
Cool of you.
Yes.
So thank you, Da Vinci.
Da Vinci's awesome, but I just like it not to crash
get it together.
On me. And if it didn't crash on me and we had the money, I would actually buy your program, because I like it that much, and I would learn it.
Yeah, we would spend that money. That would be like the wisest investment for us.
It makes me wonder if it's going to crash or not if I were to spend the $400 if we got the money for it. So
I'd be infuriated.
Yes, that's exactly why I don't even, you know. For what we're doing and what my computer handles, I shouldn't be having an issue, but I am. I don't think it's my PC. I'm not the only one. When I Google it, it's crashing for everyone. So, but if I had a better GPU, I would be able to be a lot quicker with this stuff, and it'd be nice.
You jokingly said that your computer's like half potato. Realistically, your computer is probably better than 90% of the people who are listening or watching this, and you still have issues with Da Vinci with that computer. Which makes me believe people who have like my kind of computer who use it are probably really suffering.
Yeah, they can't even run it.
Yeah. So
I have like 3/5 of an amazing computer. I need like 2 parts to like upgrade, and it'd be really amazing.
Boop. Well, other than that, yeah, you might get the pick of the week here. You might not. If you don't, check it out on Facebook in a few days.
You hear us bitching about money. If you want to go to Patreon, support us. That'd be amazing. We would love you a long time. You can do that.
If you're interested in pictures of feet, both of us have 2 feet each, and pictures are $50 per foot.
I can send you bloody toenails coming off pictures too. When I lost my toenail from skating.
You know what? Some people would actually probably spend big money on that. So
there's 3 photo sets, $100, cheap. It's like buy 2 get 1.
Yeah, if you get all 3, we'll give you a deal.
I'll send you all 3 photos of my toenail falling off, even with the blood pocket and everything all over the ground. It's a big little puddle.
Enough. I'm great.
He doesn't like those at all. It's great.
I'm going to throw up.
He's going to go throw up. I'm Wolfman. Have a good night.